How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today, I am not feeling great. I'm gonna be honest, man. Today is a weird day, okay? Stayed up for ages yesterday. Stayed up for ages the day before that, and honestly, today is a kind of a boring day in Sweden. I'm gonna be honest. It's one of those, like, really boring days. I'm gonna be frank about it. So yeah, but ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new video, guys. Today we're gonna be talking about something that I think you guys will quite enjoy, because we're gonna talk about some apparent news. Apparently, so this was posted by a Daily Star, or like this I don't know, this website called Daily Star. Posted about this. I thought we'd cover it and see what it's all about, as a few viewers wanted me to talk about it. So I thought we'd look into it, see what it's all about, see what the deal is, and yeah, I think this should be pretty straightforward. So I'm not sure what it's about. Like, I was sent this stuff, and it's like something about like Sword and Shield release date leaks as more new Switch information is revealed. So I'm not sure what the article is about. So this could go any way possible. Honestly, this could go literally any possible way, quite literally. So yeah, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the actual page. If you want to read this yourself, I'm going to link it down below. I also have another different thing here that I might cover separately, or like together with this. I'm not sure how I'll do it, but let's start with this one first, though, which is Pokemon Sword and Shield release date leaks as more new Switch information is revealed. Now, another leak on Reddit. Okay. Don't call it a leak, it's a rumor. Don't call it a leak, okay. Reddit has a huge amount of new information about... See, this is the thing, right? Because when I read leaks here, I was like, is this something that we haven't seen before? But oh well. About the upcoming Pokemon Sword and Shield games on Nintendo Switch. So, let's see, more like Pokemon Sword and Leak, am I right? Yeah, so funny. Okay, so Pokemon Sword and Shield will be the first full Pokemon games on a console, not including the Let's Go games, and the excitement around them is palpable. However, Nintendo and the Pokemon Company just aren't spilling any Pokebeans about the game, so we are all left scrounging and waiting until E3 or possibly beyond. Well, thanks to a thread that appeared over on Twitter, we have a few possible leaks to give us that information. Now, here is the actual post, which is the one that was sent to me by a viewer, literally the same one. So this could be anything, but honestly, just like, you know what I mean, like, it's not like this carries any heavy weight to it. But you know what, just because this piece of info is not like something concrete and doesn't really have any proof, to be fair, I will also do a little bit of I will include something else in this video, just so you guys don't feel like, you know, you're getting a little bit like, you know, it's getting it like you're being a little bit underhanded or whatever. But yeah, let's get into the actual stuff. Well, thanks to third over on Reddit, we have a few possible leaks to give us that hit of information that we all want. A user called the man with a van My man's called a man with a van 21. Like, this genuinely feels like it's meant to be a meme. And also, think about one more thing, okay? Think about one more major thing here. This guy is saying this, and all I can think of is 21 Savage, because 21 Savage is apparently British. Galar is British. This man's name is 21. I don't know about y'all, but this shit seems a little bit sketchy to me. Either way, posted a thread full of apparent new information. While the user says, I'm not going to say how I got this, some of the information does seem fairly plausible. There are some particularly interesting things when it comes to the new region itself. Apparently, the map we have been shown so far isn't the whole picture. It literally just repeats information. While it is common for these games to have a networks of underground tunnels, it is possible this means something more. Perhaps there are other islands to visit, which, given the map is based on the UK, seems fairly reasonable. Who wouldn't want to visit the Pokemon equivalent of the Isle of Wight? That's not all, though, about the map, though. This post states that the post-game region is below the starter town, okay? There is a precedent of high-level areas to be tucked away near the early regions in the series. Usually, these are locked out to you in the early game because you don't have access to the right move to gain access to them, though it is also common for areas to be locked by other things. Two prominent and peculiar examples are a dance rehearsal and a group of Psyducks with headaches. Okay. the cities are said to be much larger than they appear as well. While the series has had some large towns previously, most of the Pokemon places are comprised of a very small number of buildings. While this is probably due to technological limitations, it would certainly be nice to explore some sprawling cityscapes for a change, which I agree with. And other bits of key information comes in the form of the characters you're going to meet, as well as a couple of tidbits about the Pokemon themselves. So let's kind of skip through this one, because honestly, I feel like, you can kind of see the information, generally speaking, right here, because it's one of these lists, right? So we can run through this one pretty quickly, which, it's a little bit disappointing that it's just one of these. I would have enjoyed if this was, like, something slightly more intriguing, but honestly, let's just run through this one and talk about something else that I really want to bring up, which I think is going to be slightly more interesting for all of you, including myself. But let's start with this, though. So, not going to say how I got this, just take it as it is. Over 90 new Pokemon, including legendaries, no regional forms or new megas. Armored Pokemon isn't true, which we've heard the same shit before. There's more to the map than we're shown. Again, heard that before, and that's something that we already know. The cities are bigger than they look. The London city up top has 3 districts, but the map was shown only 1. You travel between them using a bus, similar to the taxi in Lumious City. Below the starter town is the Postgame region. It's a rural mountainous area based on the highlands. You have to go through the foggy forest to get there. Now, this would make sense because there's actually a reference to these mountains somewhat in actually the X and Y anime. So there's a possibility this could actually be real. Because there is a direct reference to it. So that is actually possible. But let's see. So there is a trainer customization. Special clothing can be unlocked with small quests. The enemy team in this game are industrialists who want to wipe out the countryside to spread industry. The trains have something similar to the battle subway from Black and White. When traveling on the train, you choose either travel class or battle class. You see characters from other games appear. The game has many cutscenes, but not as many as Sun and Moon. Items similar to the VS Seeker will let you re-battle trainers. So yeah, it's kind of like shit we've heard before. One is an old man and the other one is his daughter, are the 2 professors. So yeah, I mean, honestly, again, just feels like it's just a repeat of info of previous stuff we've seen. And I know you guys get angry at me for whenever I cover these things. Then again, I assume this was going to be slightly different due to the article. Because the article claims it as like, I'm not sure where the idea of this being a release date comes, because there's no mention of a release date here. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't see any mentions of release dates here. Like, literally, there's no mention of that. So, I don't know. And also, this is most likely fake. I mean, I don't know about this guy and how much he's posted. But he's posted one before, which I think if we go to this one from before, I guess he kind of said the same thing, the same info. Like, he literally, I think he just posted the same info, but on 2 different places, I guess to get the attention. So, honestly, I think we kind of base off of that this is most likely BS as well. So, yeah. I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comment section about that one, though. But that's, that's one thing. But the next thing I want to talk about is this right here. So this was sent to me by Julian saying, so RuffledRowlit found this. I don't think it corresponds to any rumor, which may be more convincing. But I remember someone mentioning Grookey, Japanese description, to be kind of a jerk. So maybe based on that. I mean, it does look evil. And that is true, actually. And this is probably one of my favorite, evolution drawings, because it looks the most realistic. And why do I say that? Because look at the design to begin with, right? It looks like it keeps this is like the middle stage evolution, right? This isn't the final stage evolution. This is the middle stage of what Grookey could be. And you can kind of see what they go for here. The tail now is like stronger and longer and can hold that log that it had previously in its hair, actually in the back of its tail. And its arms, I guess it can kind of have them like these giant trees. I'm not sure if it has to do that permanently or only temporary, and you can even see there how they describe that. Also, the silhouetted way this is made, and also the way the text looks like, is very similar and very reminiscent of what these, original and real ones look like. If you look back at actually previous concept art leaks, look very similar and very realistic. So I personally think a high possibility here that this could be real. Now again, this stuff is always iffy. You never know 100%. It's always a little bit of a hit or miss. I bet you never miss, huh? But it's always one of those things where, it's never guaranteed, or it's never 100%, at all times. It's always kind of like a 50-50 thing. So personally, I think this could be real. I mean, let's start from what we were talking about. So tail really strong. It can hold a log. It's no logs being shown here, so I'm not sure where the log is in from this back position. Then you got the face up here, you got the mouth open, you got the head from the back, you got the eyes kind of being shown off, you got the little leaves, I guess, from its head that are being shown off. It is a version of its, face that's kind of being you know, blurred out, or like, not blurred out, sorry, but like, you know, shaded, and it's like, you know, just a sketched version of it. And this exact sketch typing, this style of sketching right here, looks exactly like the one that's done by the people over at Game Freak. Like, I genuinely think this could be real, because it looks really, really proper, man. Like, it looks really proper. Now, again, and also, as mentioned by Julian here, there has been mentions about, like, a, you know, a Japanese, like, description of it being kind of like a jerk, or kind of based kind of on that. And there's also been, like, you know, talks about, like, what this could be as well, like, it could be, you know, Spider Monkey and all that sort of stuff. There's been those mentions, and I can kind of see if this could kind of fit with that theme. Though it does look kind of weird with the face. I guess it looks a little bit, you know, it's such a jump from what it was to being this kind of, like, almost creepy looking thing. I mean, it does look pretty creepy, but that's also, like, you know, so you can see, like, if you look at, like, some monkeys in, like, real nature, some of them, like, you know, their, you know, faces, and when they open their mouths, and, like, you see their teeth, they look scary as shit, man. So I mean, they don't look friendly. So, you know, I mean, it's like, anything is honestly possible here, and I've got to say, this is probably one of my favorite, like, drawings like this, because it feels like it's the most realistic one I've seen ever. So I actually think I'm going to put my trust in this one for the time being. I mean, of course, never be 100% certain about these things. I personally would say that I'm feeling like 50% certain about this one. Usually I feel like 10% certain about these things, but this one's actually giving me like a 50% like confidence, while the other 50% of me is thinking like, you never know, like, these things, like, so many have been faked, it's not hard to fake another one. But this one's really well made though. Now the Japanese, of course, could be an issue. I can't seem to be like, you know, able to find like an actually proper looking one, like, you know, an actual image of this stuff that's actually in good quality. This is the only one I could, you know, find, which was the one sent to me by Julian. There probably is better ones out there on the internet, and you guys will probably be able to find them yourself. If you do, great. But yeah, there's no translation for this yet. I mean, probably people will get it translated soon, and then we'll know if it's fake or not, because the Japanese basically can tell you that, though the Japanese here looks like, in the style it's written and positioning and all that, looks very realistic. And here even they show like how it would use its tail to catch another poke. I mean, come on, that's like so cool. So I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I'd love to know your opinions though. Like, what do you guys think about this? Do you think it seems realistic? Do you think it's like too ludicrous? Like, what are your thoughts? What are your opinions? Let me know in the comment section down below. And thank you so much for watching the video, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Have a great day, and bye bye, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.